further ado, everybody say hello to Mr. Gary Jones. If the second night in a row, if you caught his Tuesday night live last night. So thanks for joining us, Gary. Everybody has been absolutely pumped about you being on with us, myself included.
Oh, thank you. It's like I shared with you a little bit earlier. I'm kind of nervous about this. This is a little out of my comfort zone, but it'll be fun. So
it's going to be awesome. Y'all, he showed me a little sneak peek of what he put together for us. And I've actually got my makeup next to me. I'm kind of going to like play along with some of the things that he's showing us. So if you're at home and you've got your stuff next to you, feel free to play along. But I'm kind of going to hand it over to Gary. I'll be here, just hanging out. But he's got some awesome things planned. So I'll kind of let you share your screen, Gary, and get started whenever you are ready.
Okay, cool. Just to preface it a little bit, I've kind of divided into three little sections. Number one, if you've joined us on Tuesday night, I've talked a lot about creating inspiration boards. So this is less about technique and more about ideas. And because I don't know what works for you. I don't know what thrills you when you look at it that you might want to duplicate on your own face. So what I put together are things that thrill me. And then I use our makeup to create those looks. And then I want to kind of go through some tips and tricks. Sounds a little, I don't know if that's appropriate. It's more like hacks. It's like, because I refuse to spend my personal dollars on brands that are not True Aura. If we can do something with True Aura to get the look or the effect that I'm really trying to get.
Yep.
And so what I've done is put together some odd kind of combos. I'm going to demonstrate some on me, which I've never done before, which is a little weird. And then I want to just go through just real quick some gift guides. This is the perfect time of year to give the gift of True Aura, and I just want to show you some different ideas that would work for most people on your list. So I'm going to get started with some inspiration. So I do this often. Different times of year, I will put together, different looks based on what I'm seeing, either after award shows or following different personalities on social media. So we're going to just get started here. Before we get started, we have a phenomenal color line. I mean, it is unreal. We've got pretty much every color eyeshadow, blush, bronzer quad, the new eyeshadow crayon duos. Honestly, if you look at all of and I don't look at them as eyeshadows and blushes and bronzers necessarily, I look at them as pigments. We've got 34 different combinations of powders here that can be blended and made into some incredible combinations. And I'm going to show you that as we move along. Incredible line of lip colors and lip glosses, of course, which can be manipulated to become just about anything you want them to become. This is one of my favorite looks. This is Vanessa Hudgens. And what I would suggest to you, and again, we're not going to talk too much about technique. It's really more about inspiration. I'm not on social media much, but I do, read a lot of articles in Style, Glamour, Cosmo, a lot of online, typical print magazines that have incredible faces on them, whether it's a celebrity or whether it's a model. What I do is I try to say, okay, how are we going to get that with our products? And this one was very simple. You take the incredible After Midnight, which has that great pewter shade to it, which I absolutely love for so many different things. Combine it with the Earth and Sky, and you really have, you can see on the corner of her eye, she anchors it there with that with that pewter shade from the After Midnight. She lays on that beautiful brown right next to it, that gold next to that, and then that silver right in the corner. And that silver is that white shade that's in the After Midnight Compact. So it's 4 shades that create a really, really, really beautiful and dramatic look. One of the great makeup trends that I saw this last year, and I saw it was actually a TikTok trend. It's where you actually put vertical stripes of the color along your eyelid And then you just blend them together with a clean brush. And it gives you that whole tonal, you know, it evolves from that white, that beautiful white silver in the corner of the eye all the way out to that pewter in the corner. And you remember, if you want more depth to your eyeshadow, it helps to apply them when they're damp. What I also love is how she put that beautiful copper and the gold under her eyes as well, to really create, you know, that pop. When you look at this, you see her eyes first. Yeah. And then we've got the mink lip gloss, and I'm going to show you a little bit later how to add a little bit of shimmer to that to really create a look that is more like this one. Here we have beautiful dark skin. I wanted to throw this in there because, you know, oftentimes I think when we think of, you know, if we're not familiar with doing makeup on darker skin, we always think they have to be really heavy pigmented colors. When in fact, our coffee shop is gorgeous for a very natural look. You know, of course, we've got, you know, After Midnight, we've got all those other trios, which really work well for darker skins also. But sometimes a subtle look on darker skin is just so sexy. So I love this coffee shop. This is sable lip color. One thing that I really want to point out here is that highlight on the cheeks. And that's something that can be achieved with that lightest shade in our bronzing quad, you know, to really create that beautiful glow. And again, when we get into more of the practical aspects of it, I'm going to show you how to create different versions of that highlighting shimmer that can really work well for you through the holidays. Sometimes we don't always think of things other than eyeshadow being eyeshadow, when in fact, powder is powder is powder is powder. And I absolutely love our blush duos for eyeshadow application. This is one of my favorite looks. I am a sucker for pink eyeshadow. I think it's so beautiful. And this is something that can be easily achieved using that shimmer shade that's in the eyeshadow crayon duo. And then following up with those two shades of pink on the eyelid, which is phenomenal. And of course, look at that brow. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to get a really beautiful defined brow as well. And then here's another version of this right now, Painted Desert eyeshadow trio is, I am kind of obsessed with it right now. It is, you can do anything with it. That nude shimmer in that trio is probably one of the prettiest shades I've ever seen. And I love it. And so you can see how you can create something that's very subtle, you know, with eyeshadow, and then maybe give you a pop with the Bordeaux lip color. And, you know, this doesn't look very heavily pigmented, but this is one of those things, if you want it, Bordeaux is a phenomenal color, whether you do it full pigment to give that real bold, you know, that whole, Chanel had a lip color that was called, what was it called? Diva, I think was the name of it. And it was just, it was so popular, and it was exactly Bordeaux, but it'll give you that real heavily pigmented look, or you can dab it on and blot it, which is more of what this is done, what's done here in this image, to give you the pigment without the coverage, which is a really nice combination with that Painted Desert eyeshadow. And then if you want to take it up a notch, I love this photo also. This is that Painted Desert. You can make it more heavily pigmented. You're probably not going to get that real magenta frost, but it's kind of like, you know, when you're reading magazines and you'll say, okay, Nicole Kidman wore this $4,000 dress. Here's the $250 version. It's not going to be exactly the same, but it's going to be close enough to give you that look. And honestly, I think Painted Desert will give you a much more wearable option than probably this would be as well. I mean, without the larger flake shimmer, without that real, you know, magenta frost. But I think you can get a very similar look with this. And then this is the Wild Plum lip color. You could also do Bordeaux. And then I'm going to show you how to take a shimmer. I'm going to teach you how to make a shimmer cream, which you can actually put on top of your lip color to give you exactly this effect, which again, we've got amazing lip colors, but if you can expand your lip color wardrobe by a few tips and tricks using things that we have, then that's all the better, right?
Yeah.
And then of course, for the holiday, I'm absolutely in love with this. This is our bronzer quad, can create this phenomenal eyeshadow look. Again, think outside the compact. You know, you don't have to have an eyeshadow or a blush. You can use the bronzer quad to create this incredible look.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you how you can actually use the mascara to create a liquid liner to get a similar effect to this. And I have to say, our scarlet lip color is the most beautiful red lip color I think that I've ever seen, and it's so perfect for this time of year. And there's nothing sexier than a great red lip and a nude eye that's done up dramatically like this. So, so this is one that I really love. And then I have to bring out Adele because she is everywhere right now. And the inspiration, it's so amazing how she has inspired makeup looks, you know, that whole nude eye, nude lip, and that cat eye, that winged eyeliner is everything. So, you know, we can easily recreate that with the products we have at the coffee shop, with the bare lip color, and then again with our mascara. And I'm going to show you a trick to turn that into that winged eyeliner. And then right now, I'm just going to show this image because these are a few products I'm going to use to create some things that are, I think, really kind of sensational. So we are going to, I'm still trying to figure this out. There we go.
Perfect.
Stop share. Okay, I'm back. So now we're going to talk about how and your eyes are looking good, by the way.
I'm working. Listen, I took a picture of Vanessa and I'm working to become Vanessa right now.
Girl, that looks good.
So you keep going and I'm going to keep working.
Keep going. Okay, Vanessa, I'll keep going.
Thank you.
All right. So here are a few, I've got notes here, so I apologize. I just want to, there's so much I wanted to talk about. I've got to keep on track. I'm going to start with foundation concealer. You know, when you're talking about doing eyes, an eye primer and neutralizing any dark pigmentation on the eyes is going to be really important. Concealer makes a fantastic eyeshadow primer. You know, so if you suffer, you know, with some dark pigmentation around your eyes, neutralize that before you start your eyeshadow. It'll make all the difference. I like using the concealer versus necessarily a powder because sometimes, you know, as we get older, and Logan, you don't know anything about this, our eyes get a little bit crepey. You know, our older skin doesn't respond as well to powder as it does to creams. So concealer makes a really great eyeshadow primer. Now, we all know, we've talked about often how you can mix a few drops of foundation with your day lotion to create a CC cream. And I'm on Zooms a lot, you know, as we all have been the last few years. And I typically have a little bit of a red blotchy complexion, and that's just my Irish heritage coming through. And so I always like to, you know, even it out a little bit. And I always like mixing a few drops of the foundation with the day lotion. It's messy. It seems to be a little bit messy, and it's something that takes a little bit of time. One of the hacks that I've discovered is, Logan, you'll remember this, a few weeks ago, I ran across a tinted face oil.
Yes.
And I sent you a message and I said, get this. I'm obsessed with it. It's fabulous. Because I like just a little bit of coverage without looking like you have anything on.
Right. Like
I said, I don't like to spend my money on anything that really isn't true or if it doesn't benefit me in any way. So I figured out a way you can kind of make your own tinted serum or tinted oil. So I upcycle everything. I keep I don't know why I'm a pack rat. I keep lip balm jars. I keep BioLift bottles. I just keep them around in case I might need them. And thank God I found a use for them. So what I've done here is I've mixed a little bit of BioLift, several drops of foundation, and you can adjust that, how much coverage you want or don't want. Yeah. Put in a couple of mixing beads. And by mixing beads, I mean, I had a couple of 6-8 millimeter hematite jewelry beads that I had in a drawer. And I threw in here to create the mixer. You could use BBs, you can use anything you want to really create more of a tinted serum.
Oh my gosh.
And what you can see here is it's just water thin.
That's amazing.
but
Well,
you can.
shoot, I should have waited to order that oil you sent me. That's
Well,
amazing.
well, no, the oil was good, just so you can try it out.
Yeah.
But see, you get a little bit of coverage. Nobody would ever know that you're wearing anything. And it just creates a great even look for your skin. Plus, it's got all the goodies of BioLift in it. So why wouldn't you want, to really create something that was as good for your skin as BioLift is, with a little bit of tint to it. And the great thing is, it'll settle, it'll be transfer resistant. It really is just I think it takes the whole CC cream, BB cream to the next level. So it's something that I really do love. Now we're going to get into eyeshadows. As we showed earlier, we have a ton of eyeshadow options. 34 of them totally. When you look at all the eyeshadows, blush, bronzer, the eyeshadow crayon duos, there's really anything that you could possibly want to create. So you're mixing and matching outside of the compacts, like we showed with the Vanessa Hudgens thing. 2 compacts, 4 shades, create this phenomenal look, Logan. It's gorgeous. I think sometimes we say, okay, here's the trio I've been given. I have to create a look out of this. When in actuality, a makeup artist would lay them all out and probably create looks between all of the compacts that we have. So if you are using one trio over and over and over again, I'm going to challenge you to really break out and try to get some new, work on some new shades. And a lot of that comes from getting these inspirations like we talked about earlier. If you don't have like a free YouTube account, get one. Because one thing that I do is I like and subscribe to different makeup application techniques. And then when I go and, pull up my YouTube, that's all that's there. I mean, it's Clarkson singing karaoke, it's some RuPaul Drag Race, and then it's a whole lot of makeup tutorials. Because those are the things that and movie trailers, and those are the things that I look at. So I would suggest you do that to really create inspiration, get new ideas, and learn new techniques. So makeup is not hard to do. In fact, it's fun if you have the right attitude to make it fun.
Yeah.
So eyeshadows, mix between there. Make sure you're using your blushes and your bronzer for eyeshadow shades as well. One thing I love is, I know everybody talks about wanting a pencil. Which is great. I have, I honestly, I will tell you, I have done makeup for 30 years, longer than I think I am old enough to do. I never once used a pencil. I just don't do it. One thing I really love to do is use my powders as a liner. And I would say invest in a good liner brush. And by a good liner brush, I don't mean an expensive one. These were, I got a small one and a large one. These were a few dollars on Amazon, so it's really very easy. And you can create whatever color you want. We have phenomenal blues, we have purples, we have that great hunter green, but they create really beautiful lines when they're used dry. But one thing that's even better is when you take your balancing mist, and I always use a little cap as my dipping wand, because you always want to make sure whatever you're putting in the eyes is sterile. So I always just use straight from the cap, and then I will brush on the corner of my cake here, for lack of a better word. And look at that.
Oh, that's perfect.
I mean, you create a gorgeous liner and once that dries, once that water evaporates off of that, it's not going anywhere. And so it's extremely durable to use as a liner. Now, one of my favorite things is brows. And I kind of geek out about brows a little bit, because it is, brows are an instant de-ager. And I don't think we always think about that. And as we get older, our brows get lighter, the hairs don't grow the same way that they used to. They get a little unruly. But it's important that your brows look really finished and polished to really create a more youthful look. One thing that I used to do was I would say if you're going to invest in another brush, a brow brush is a really good one. I would always take the dry powder, and I always use for my particular brow, I always use that pewter color that's in the After Midnight. And I would take it with my brow brush and I would brush it in. It was a little hard to work with because if it sticks, it's hard to blend it out.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful color. And then after I would finish, I would spritz it with the balancing mist because that's the best makeup block you can get to really keep that powder from going anywhere. Until I discovered a new trick. There are a lot of brow pomades that are out right now which utilize wax and powder pigments. And it really gives you some flexibility of, moving it around a little bit without it sticking. So what I do, and again, I'm upcycling my lip balm. I'm upcycling my lip balm container. But when I get down to the last little bit of lip balm and I'm ready to start a new one, because that's just, your eyes are gorgeous, by the way. But so I'm ready to start a new one, I will flake off some of the powder from that pewter powder from the After Midnight, and I mix it with just this, I have a simple little palette and knife that I got on Amazon. It's $5. And that mixes all my pigments together. And so what I'll do here is I have a brow brush that has a brush on the end. I actually prefer a spoolie versus this, but this is what I got, and I'm not really going to spend the money for it. And then I'm going to show you how you can take that and you make your own brow pomade. So you can just easily brush this in to your brows.
Oh my gosh.
I always like that hard line on the bottom, just to get definition. And then you just take the little brush part of it, brush it up.
Oh my gosh, that looks so good.
Yeah, I mean, and once that sets, it's like iron. I mean, it won't go anywhere. So it really gives you a really defined brow. I've never done a video showing me do my own makeup, but
that's amazing.
But see, I mean, it's great.
Oh
and
my gosh.
It makes all the difference, because a lot of times, our brow should start right there at the corner of our nose.
Yeah.
And should end right there in the corner of our eyes. And often as we get older, the brows just don't grow as far over that way. So this is a real easy way to create a really defined look, with just using products that we have.
It looks so good.
All right. And if you don't want to mix it with lip balm, you can also mix it with your favorite hair pomade or hair gel. I like the lip balm because one of the key active ingredients in the lip balm is castor oil. Castor oil is great for hair growth, so I'm thinking if I can get a little growth out of it,
it happened.
All the better.
Yeah, seriously.
So next we're going to talk about how to get Adele's winged eyeliner, which is a big thing because nobody's really, I say nobody. A lot of people are not real comfortable getting that look. One thing, if you have enough precision to take the brush and do the little flip, God bless you, that's phenomenal. If you aren't, one thing that I recommend is I always take a little bit of, this is surgical tape, but you can also use Scotch tape. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I always fold that in to create a tab. So you can see I folded that down. Just make sure you kind of put it on the skin and get rid of the adhesive a little bit. So it's not sticking quite as hard. And then take it, put it right here on the corner of the eye, like that. And then when you take your eyeliner, you'll simply run it here and then swoop up on the outside of the tape. When you peel the tape off, it'll be a perfect wing. So that's a great little tip on using eyeliner. Again, you can use the powders wet. However, one of my favorite ways to use a liner is to take our mascara, which of course has that incredible lash enhancing peptide, which encourages great lash growth. If you are looking for more of a liquid liner, just take your brush, run it along the edge of the wand right there, and then use that as a liquid liner. And of course, those lash enhancing peptides are going to help create a great environment for your lashes to grow more effectively. So that's a great way to use liquid liner or mascara as a liquid liner. But you can also, don't think you always have to, a lot of people aren't comfortable with liquid liners, but you can do the same thing with a powdered liner and get great results. Bronzer. I love our bronzer so much. It isn't only for the face. Like I said, it also makes a great eyeshadow. But during these holiday season, you may be wearing something a little lower cut. And I just realized I've got to do something real quick.
Okay.
This is probably the thing that you guys haven't always seen. I have a terrible white patch in my beard. And that is one thing that I use this. I create eyebrows and
cover up my
I create eyebrows and I color in this white patch.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
There you go. Yeah, perfect.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So our bronzer. The holiday season, you may be wearing something that's a little lower cut, which is great with this highlighting powder. Think about, this is dark and light, shadow and light. Shadows bring things in, light bring things forward. One of the sexiest things to do, take the darker shade, run it right here along the middle, take the lighter shade, put it here on the edge. It just creates a beautiful décolletage look. So this is something that is very fun. Bronzer can be used on the bottle, or on the body. It can be used on the face. It can be used anywhere you need it to. All right, lipstick. I love our lip colors so much, but sometimes you want a lip color that looks a little more matte. Ours are very creamy. They're very glossy. Glossy lip colors don't last as long as matte lip colors, and that's just a fact. Several things that you can do to create a matte lip color without having a matte formula, because matte formulas tend to be a little bit dry. One thing you can do is put your lipstick on, take a tissue, and I separate mine, 2-ply. I separate them into 1-ply. And what you do is you press it on your lips, take some of your powder foundation and a brush and brush it on top of that, press it together, and you have a matte lipstick. Or if you don't want to go to that trouble, you can always just take some of your powder, press it on your lip, press your lips together. It'll absorb the oil and give you a completely matte look.
Oh my
God. You don't have to have a matte formula to get a matte lipstick. So powder, that's all a matte lipstick is a regular lipstick with powder in it. So you can easily create that.
All these tips. Oh my gosh.
So here's another thing that I really love. The easy thing to do if you're applying your lip color and you're at home and you're just, at home and you want a great look, you can take your take one of your highlighting shades, and this is that highlighting shade in Painted Desert. Put on your lipstick, and then you can tap in a little bit of powder to give you that shimmery look. Plus, it's going to create more of a matte kind of effect. But what I really, really, really love to do is I buy these inexpensive little these lip palettes, and I like to mix up my own little combinations of things.
Oh my God.
So this right here is that highlighting, the lightest shade in the highlight and the bronzer. Mix with some lip balm. This is that white shade that's in After Midnight mixed with lip balm. This is that gold, which is in From the Earth and Sky mixed with lip balm. This is the one I'm obsessed with, the Painted Desert highlighter mixed with lip balm. This one is that bouquet blush. which, I mean, look at this, makes a phenomenal
Cream.
cream blush. If you wanted a cream blush, I look like a harlot, but
I love that.
yeah. So if you wanted a, something light like that, we talked about that, the African-American model that had the highlighter. This is that, look at that shimmer cream. This is that highlighter shade from the bronzer. Throw that on there.
With lip balm, you said all of those?
Yeah, all those with lip balm. So it creates like that beautiful highlighter. But you also see those, I'm gonna have to take a shower. You also see those eye illuminating balms, which is really highlighting pigment, oil and wax. That's all it is. So you can easily put this under your, if you have dark circles, put this under your eyes before you put your concealer on, and it deflects that light, it deflects the dark circles, it minimizes the look of wrinkles. I mean, it's really just an incredible way to maximize your color cosmetics, really.
Yes, I know. She just said we are only limited by our own imagination. I love all these, and that's so true.
Well, and I look at it as the same way I did when I was in the lab, because everything that you do is made of oils, waxes, and powder pigments. So we have all of it. I mean, we have all of it right here to do whatever you want to do.
Oh my God.
So just to give you some things that I love for the holidays, scarlet lip color and that gold from the Earth and Sky is phenomenal. It's gorgeous. My absolute favorite, though, is probably Bare lipstick with that the highlighter from Painted Desert to create a really, really beautiful. It's just
I just
sexy,
put Bare on.
sexy, shimmering nude shade, and I'll show you that. It is. I mean, I don't know if you can see that, but it's just a beautiful.
That's my favorite shade by far.
Yeah.
Of eyeshadow.
And that's just Painted Desert with a little bit of lip balm, and then put it on top of the Bare lipstick. It's phenomenal.
That's what I'm about to do.
All right, so lip balm. We talked about how to create shimmers, and you can do anything from face shimmers, eye shimmers. You can make it a brow wax. You can make it an eyeliner should you want to. Just remember, never take a used lip gloss and use it on your eyes. Cross-contamination is a bad idea. Cream cheek color. And of course, lip balm works phenomenally as a cuticle cream. So after you put it on your lips, put it on your cuticles. Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
It's like totally new makeup.
It really is.
Yeah.
I'm
and
obsessed.
Very high end. It's very high end. I love that.
Why, thank you.
And then, of course, remember your balancing mist. It's one of the best products. Again, it's a great makeup lock. It works great as the moisture for your liquid liner, should you choose to do that. And it's a great skin saver for the winter. So those are some great ideas of color cosmetics, things to do. Mixing and matching. Again, my philosophy is there are no rules, really. It is. I don't like to live in a rule-based society, especially when it comes to color. We have all the tools to make and create anything that we want to. It's only limited to our imagination. So I think we've got a lot of really good things to do. Now, before we stop, though, and answer some questions, I do want to talk about some great giftables.
Yes.
And I'm going to share my screen again. And a lot of these are, basic. They're things that you completely would understand. I love this. This is a glamour on the go kind of kit. Mascara, bronzer, a nude lip, gosh, I can't remember the name of this lip color. It's the lightest one, Sable lip color. Is that right? No. Lip gloss.
Oh, cashmere. Sorry. Yes.
Something's wrong with me. So yeah, cashmere lip color. This is good for anyone. Whether they have a makeup routine or not. And if you can give them this and say, hey, let me teach you how you can go from glam to out the door with these products right here. And, you know, that's a winner. You know, people love that. People love to save time. They love to save money. And right now this bronzer is buy one, get one half price. So, you know, you can really economize on your gift giving. Tools of the trade here. I love these. We have great brushes, and I love our beauty blender. Keep in mind that we have a BOGO offer on the brushes right now as well. So it's a great time to give those as gifts. Winter skin savers, the balancing mist, lip balm, the hand cream, which by the way makes a great foot cream also. So you tell everybody all the ways they can use these products that I think they're going to get pretty hooked on True Aura pretty quickly. All about the eyes. We've got, of course, the mascara, which is phenomenal. It has great clinical results. And you also have the great eye cream, which has great clinical results. You share those results, you know, with people, and they're going to love these. You know, you can get really dramatic eyes with these two products. The amazing body care set that we have right now, that thank goodness we still have some, $60 while supplies last. They are running low, so you probably want to go ahead and order those while they are around. Or 3 days to beautiful skin. You know, use our samples as a stocking stuffer. What a great idea. You know, regardless of whether somebody has a regimen that they currently love, introduce them to something new by sharing what you do, what your business is. This is a great thing. It's an inexpensive way to introduce your family, your friends to the products that you offer. And then, of course, with the sale going on right now, the Gift of Beautiful Skin is hard to pass up, where you can get your Core 4 plus your eye cream at a great price. You know, I think the thing you have to remember is whenever you give a gift of True Aura, part of that gift includes you. You know, your expertise, your ability to be there for them, to answer questions, to give them, you know, feed them information on tips, techniques, things like that, and everything that you can do. The best gift you can give somebody is the gift of the opportunity. But it's probably best to, you know, go ahead and give them some samples, give them the out-the-door makeup look, give them some skincare, really ignite their fire in True Aura, and then they'll want to become, you know, part of the True Aura family. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there this time of year to really, really share what a great opportunity we have and what amazing products we have. And your makeup looks phenomenal.
I'm like, literally, I saw, I don't know whether it was Noelle or Rick, but they were like, bring the baby over. You guys need to go out. I was like, yes, I do. Except it's 7:42, which, you know, bedtime is coming up here.
On a Wednesday. It's 7:42 on a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday, exactly. Hang on. I saw something from Dana. Can you suggest anything for those of us who wear eyeglasses all the time? Any way to make the eyes stand out more?
Eyeglasses. Yeah, you know, and I think a lot of it has to do with understanding your eye shape and whether you wear eyeglasses. A lot of people, and I'm one of those include, I have small eyes. You know, everything seems a little tight. I wouldn't be one that could do dark colors. You know, so really realizing, keep it light on the eyes to really minimize the depth of the eye socket, and then utilize your color with your liner. You know, so take your, like the purples or the blues, any of those, and really focus on your eyeliner and your mascara. And that'll really pop without having a lot of color on your eyes, or a lot of depth of color on your eyes.
And then what you said about going under on your lower lash line with the color, that really opens up your eyes too, and helps to make them look bigger and fuller when you literally are encompassing your whole entire eye and not just your upper lid too. I know that.
You know, and then using some shimmers around your, like the white shimmer or that gold shimmer as a liner, it just automatically, your eyes are pulled to their eyes when they have that on. So just experiment with different ways to, you know, to do that.
And then we have Martha. What is your take on some of these browns and golds for mature eyes?
You know, I don't really see age necessarily with eyeshadow. I think a lot of times as women get older, they think I can't wear shimmers because it's going to make my eyes look crepey. There's nothing that's drappier than matte, dry eyeshadow, you know, and that really accentuates any lines and wrinkles. The shimmer deflects some light. None of our shadows have that sparkly glitter that are going to make you look like you're trying to be 14 again. You know, it's just enough to make it look like you have really healthy, moisturized skin. It deflects the light, it minimizes the wrinkles. So I would say anything, you know, anything in our line is great for any age, whether you're young or older.
Yeah, I agree. They're beautiful colors. And then Michelle, I saw your question. Are these beautiful images in the app somewhere? They are not, but I trust that Pete is on here somewhere. And I'm sure we can get these slides to you guys so that you can see the inspo looks and you can see these gift ideas that he put together. So they're not right now, but I'm sure that we can get these slides from Gary for you guys.
Yeah, and one thing that I would also suggest is, you know, who was your, I mean, I like dramatic looking makeup. So those are the things that I'm drawn to. When I look for these, I Googled holiday inspiration, holiday color cosmetics 2021, 22, you know, just to kind of see what the trends are. It could be your favorite celebrity that you follow on Instagram or, you know, on different social media platforms. They're always doing their own makeup. And, you know, there are some that are really heavily influenced color cosmetics, you know, depending on who it is you relate to more.
Right.
So I would say find those looks and then again, create inspiration boards and put together the products we have that would give you that same look and then try them out.
That's perfect.
It's not a nose job. If you don't like it, you can wash it off.
You just take it off.
You take it off.
I love that. Oh my gosh. How long do the samples last? Those last 3 days. So in the little samples that you can send from the app, they last 3 days, which is a perfect amount of time to get a feel for the product. You know, obviously you're not going to see drastic changes in your skin in 3 days, but you will get a good idea of how amazing your skin feels after using them. So.
And I think that's the purpose of them. They're like 3 days is long enough to know if it's compatible with your skin.
Right.
You know, whether you like the feel of them or not. And honestly, it's 3 days is enough to really realize whether you like them or not.
Absolutely. Used the new darker shade of the cranberry shadow as lip color. Used a lip brush. That's good. No cross contamination. Then put lip balm. Looked fabulous and great staying power. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a beautiful nude.
So pretty
color.
So pretty. Logan, you guys are being so nice to me. Stop it. Logan. Okay, it would be great if we could get Gary to do some of these awesome tips and tricks as a video we could have in the Share app. Gary, hot commodity over here, man. I just
that's why I was nervous about doing this.
I know you're like, wait a second. I don't know. It's okay because, you know, this replay is going to be on YouTube and you guys can watch Gary over and over and over again as many times.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Logan, which eyeshadow colors were you doing here or were you trying to do? Jeanette, don't you remember? I'm Vanessa. It's me, Vanessa Hudgens. She did way darker though. I didn't do it as dark on the sides, but I used the exact ones he had on the inspo pic, which he said he was going to put. So I used the Earth and Sky palette and then the After Midnight trio. So both of those trios. And then I put Mink on, but he said Bear and the Painted Desert Shimmer. So I had to do that. So I changed the lip. Logan, you have killer brows. Thank you. That was one thing I was blessed with. If my client doesn't use the sample, how long will it last before spoiling or drying out? That is a great question, Lorraine. I would assume that it's the same as the shelf life, right?
It would be the same as the shelf life, unless it's been opened.
Right.
Don't open them and leave them sitting there for a week or two. I mean,
yeah.
If you're not going to use it, then you're not going to use it. But
yeah.
But if they're sealed, it'll last as long as the shelf life, which would be 3 years unopened.
That's perfect. So a long time. I know I just ordered a whole bunch of them to give as stocking stuffers or gifts. It's perfect. I mean, because then they get 3 days to try it. And we know that these products speak for themselves. So get it on people's faces and they'll love it. Got my eyeshadow crayons today and can't wait to try them. You are going to love them. They are awesome. Okay. I think we made it through all the questions, Gary. We did it.
All right.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. I cannot thank you enough for joining us. Everyone's been looking forward to this for so long. And I know I learned a whole bunch of tips. So we'll be able to watch the replay in case you missed it, or unless, you know, you want to go listen to all these tips again, it'll be on YouTube. So you'll be able to rewatch it. But I wanted to just say thank you again, Gary, for coming on and giving us all these tricks of the trade, or hacks, as you like to say. I love it. All these inspo pics, feeling like Vanessa. Too bad it's a Wednesday. Oh, well.
Well, you can redo it on Friday.
That's exactly right. I'll recreate it Friday. Okay. Thank you again, Gary. And then I am going to do a couple of housekeeping things. So I have great news for you and your TLCs. We're working on the final details and functionality, but it's exciting. So I wanted to share with you guys the core skincare plus the eye treatment bundle, you know, that we did all the amazing clinicals on, and that it's available as a part of the December deal. We are now going to have it as a permanent set going forward. So this means that your TLCs can include it in the recurring orders at regular retail, and new TLCs can include it with their enrollment orders. So if any of your new holiday hustle customers, retail customers aren't TLC yet, there's never a better time. And then for any new customer, that bundle with the clinicals backing it up, it's a great place to start for their product journey with True Aura at a great price in December. So that's number one, super exciting, all the details to come. And then I also wanted to let you guys know that the app has some new added features. So they're just designed to help you upload and share content to share samples more easily. So there's going to be more to come on that. But whenever you're in the app, just make sure after you've updated it. So make sure you go to either the Android store or the App Store, update your app, and then make sure that you are pulling down to see the latest content and features on the app. So update your app, clear your cache, and then make sure you cache. I don't know if that's how you say it. I don't know, cache, who knows? But make sure you keep pulling up to refresh all the things. And I know Gary already said this, but seriously, those samples are an absolutely awesome way to get people hooked on the product. Get the product on everyone's faces, because you know they speak for themselves and they'll love them. So I saw a whole bunch of other things coming in, Logan. I'll take a picture for you, Frida. Thank you. Wealth of information. Thank you, Gary. All the love for Gary. We'll be watching replay. Whoop, whoop. Okay, that's it. Thank you again, Gary. We appreciate you so much, and we'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.
Thank you.